This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right. I keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. I keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. In this case, of the Rudy Poo and the Plum Brain, Shawn Constipated Porter fanboys. Let's get on to the video, folks. Just had my shot of wheatgrass, man. I'm geeked up. That's that natural coffee right there. But let's get on to the video, man. Listen, man. K. Diddy. You know, Kenny Porter, a.k.a. always trying to be in the videos. You remember how Suge and I used to say, P. Diddy always trying to be in the videos? That's Kenny Porter for you, man. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, you know what I'm saying, Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy. This man is basically always trying to take the shine of his son, Shawn Constipated Porter. It's like Shawn Constipated Porter doesn't have his own identity because his dad is always defining his identity. Let me say that again. Shawn Constipated Porter doesn't have an identity because his dad is always trying to define his identity. That's the truth of the fact of the matter, folks. So here's the cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truths. Shawn Porter, your dad is going to force you into a quicker bulldozing fashion. Let me say that again. Your dad is going to force you into a quicker bulldozing fashion. I got this fight anywhere between 9 to 11 round KO stoppage because I'm giving Shawn Porter two things of credit. This is the first time you're going to hear me give him two things of credit. If he listens to me, he'll at least make it to 9 to 11 rounds. Let me say it again. If he listens to me, He Knows the Sport, bringing you that what? That heat and that fire. He'll make it to 9 to 11 rounds. Here's the two things that Shawn Porter does well. He has a low center of gravity. Remember, he's a midget. He's an imp. Remember what I told you about midget imp motherfuckers? Because I've been in plenty of fights with these fuckers. When you get them now and you catch their ass and you drop them on their head and you slam them, they done with. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the saying is, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Well, the smaller they are, the easier they crack. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, right? The smaller they are, the easier they crack. The problem is catching these little fuckers. These little imps, dog. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Porter's like that little imp on Game of Thrones. These motherfuckers can go in between your legs. These motherfuckers, you got to make sure you do a lot of stretching, dog. You got to make sure you do a lot of Pilates. You basically got to make sure your ass is loose and fucking limber, dog. Because if you're not, they can be a handful. You know how Tom and Jerry, you know, the cat is always trying to follow that damn mice. But then when that mouse turns around and he finally gets caught, what happens? He's chop suey, right? Well, that's what's going to happen in this fight. Shawn Porter has two advantages to him. He needs to act like the truest and most properest mouse that he is. And running between Errol the True Spence's legs, he's short enough to do that. Basically, make sure that, you know, he slips through the cracks of Errol the True Spence. If he does that, then at least with his imp and midget size, right? And then his feet, I ain't gonna lie, he got little fast feet on him. See, that's the bad thing with short people. Short people that's fucking fast, they hard to fucking catch. Them motherfuckers 5'6" and a half and below, oh my goodness, and they fast, shit. But when you catch their ass, it's a wrap. So that's what Shawn Porter's going to have to do. He's basically going to have to give us the highest variation of glorified version of survival, because that's all he's going to be able to do in this fight. You guys have to understand, Errol the True Spence is leagues and shoulders above Shawn Constipated Porter. When you think of ring generalship, come on, man. Errol the True Spence is an A. Shawn Porter is like I ain't gonna give him Z, but he's probably like a V. You know what I'm saying? That's where he's at. When you think of basically jab, Shawn Constipated Porter got a little better jab, so I'll give him a Q to Errol the True Spence A, right? When you think of being able to technically place your punches, Shawn Constipated Porter gets a Y. Errol the True Spence is an A. You see how the comparison is always leagues and shoulders above his ass? Then we got to talk about combination work. Remember, Shawn is constipated. So all he can do is when he goes inside of you and mauls you, is basically smother you. That's where he looks like he's doing something. But here's the thing with Errol the Truth Spence, right? That separates him from the pack. People say, well, Errol the Truth Spence, every time he breaks out, he shells up. No, that's called breaking out and going back into a defensive stance. You dodo heads, you brain full of mush, and you brainwash followers. You don't know nothing about boxing. Just like Roger Mayweather said, your ass don't know shit about boxing. So if you don't know shit about boxing, then take the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling, because I'm about to educate you motherfuckers. When Errol the Truth Spence breaks out, it's to go back into a defensive stance. Floyd Mayweather did this. Andre Ward did this. Any fighter that has great defense, or any fighter that's defensively responsible, Terrence Bud Crawford does the same shit too. You go right back into a defensive stance each and every time that you trade off. It's smart. It could be in the high guard, it could be in the mid guard, it could be in the low guard, it could be in the shoulder roll, you name it. You go into a defensive stance. Now here's the other thing that Errol the Truth Spence does of why he's going to pick apart Shawn Constipated Porter. It doesn't matter how tight your defense is. Errol Spence, when he goes in and he lunges on the body shots, he's always looking for holes. Woo. What I said was so deep and profound. Let me rewind that, because this one needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Errol the Truth Spence is always looking for holes in between your tight defense, because fighters have a tendency to do this. Remember, everyone has to inhale and everyone has to exhale. So Errol the Truth Spence waits for you to not inhale, but he waits for you to exhale, and then he's landing punches on your ass. Because in your exhale moment, that's for anybody in life. When you exhale, that's your weakest moment. When you're inhaling, you know, you're getting that air in you, right? But when you letting the air out, think about it. Come on, use simple physics here. When you let the air out, what's happening? You're at a deficiency. When you're bringing the air in, you're at a surplus. Air out, deficiency. So that's what Errol the Truth Spence does. He reads other boxers' body language. And when he realizes that they're breathing a certain way, he goes on the attack. Whew. Not only that, Errol the Truth Spence always stepped to the left. Mayweather did this shit. Andre Ward did this shit. This is basically the artwork of a special fighter. Every time you get in, you get your trade in, you get your combination in, you step to the left. This is going to disrupt Shawn Constipated Porter, because he's never fought a fighter who has this special skill set. Keith Thurman basically went on the back foot, but he went on the back foot in a way to where he tripped on himself, or he went straight back. That's why he got clipped by Manny Pacquiao. Remember, I told you he has a very awkward way of going back. Errol the Truth Spence steps to the left. You know why he steps to the left? It's for repositioning, respacing, rebalancing, and then going back in there and landing your fucking shots. And then here's the thing that Errol the Truth Spence does too. When Errol the Truth Spence senses that you coming up on him, he uses his elbow to throw you off of his ass, pivots, and then lands his punch on you. Let me say it again. He uses his elbow to throw you off of his ass. He pivots his foot, and then he throws something back. Remember, he never wastes his punches, and he's always throwing them with mean intentions. So I just can't see, with all of those systematic things there that's in play for Errol the Truth Spence, how Shawn Constipated Porter is going to have a chance in this fight. And let's not forget, Errol the Truth Spence has great balance and positioning. Remember, I told you he has a flawless stance, because his stance can both operate on the front foot and on the back foot. This is why I don't understand why Shawn Constipated Porter just don't give up the belt, man, and be done with it. Because the more Kenny Porter runs his fucking mouth, because he's playing this good cop, bad cop shit. Every time he around Errol the Truth Spence, he don't keep the same energy. He's always kissing his ass. Because remember, I told y'all, he want to be assistant coach of the Spence team. He knows exactly what he's doing. But then when he's around his son, he's talking shit. But see, here's the thing. Errol the Truth Spence is like me, dog. He like to collect data. The more you run your fucking mouth, the more he comes after your ass. Let me say it again. The more you run your mouth, the more he comes after your ass, because he keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. He keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. Listen, man. September 28th is very simple. Shawn Constipated Porter is getting bulldozed via 9th to 11th round KO stoppage. And if Spence is mad enough, and if Spence invests enough, then maybe his prediction might come true in 6th round KO stoppage. Or we might see K. Diddy throw that damn towel in. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.